And a good afternoon to you on Father's Day here from Shirley Povich Field as the Bethesda Big Train welcome the Silver Sping-Takoma T-Bolts here to Povich Field. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo for Big Train TV. And taking a mound for the Big Train today, looking for his second win of the season, Matt Bedford out of the University of Notre Dame. Already a 1-0 count to the leadoff hitter for the T-Bolts, Dale Hauser. And a quick mound visit from his battery mate at Notre Dame, Danny Leroy, who starts behind the dish. Kemp Alderman at first, Austin Gauthier at second, Keith Torres at short, Rocco Pepe at third, Darius Foster, Jack Cohn, Brady Gump left to right in the outfield. Here's the 1-0 from Bedford, swung on and laced up the middle by Hauser, and he will get on with a leadoff single for Silver Spring-Takoma. Tyler, welcome back here inside the Dandy Walker broadcast booth. Always good to be with you here. Another is further down in the lineup. Tommy Dunleavy, the do-it-all man, breaks his bat, chopper high in the air towards Gauthier at second, who collects it, and that bat died quickly right off the handle and splinters all over the infield grass. Shattered into about 4 different pieces out there on the field. So 1 out, 1 on. Hauser at first. Dunleavy goes down quickly for the first out of this one. They'll bring up the catcher, Connor Palmera. Palmera looks at a breaking ball on the outside edge for strike one from Matt Bedford. Bedford comes into today 2 games, 1 starts, 8.0 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts tied for the lead for Bethesda, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs, and 2.25 ERA. And the check back on Dale Hauser at first. Here's the 0-2 to Connor Palmera, and that misses for ball 1 on a hot and humid sunny day here at Povich Field. And that one again misses to even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Connor Palmera, the catcher again. 6'0", 195, rising sophomore out of Hawaii. Took a long journey out to the islands, native of West Palm Beach, Florida. Now here's the 2-2 high from Matt Bedford for ball 3, and the count is full. Runner goes down to second. Doesn't matter as Palmera works a walk. So 0-2 Bedford had on Palmera, the catcher, and he fires off 4 straight balls to walk Palmera down to first, bring up no 11. The designated hitter tonight for Silver Spring-Takoma. Bedford from the stretch with 2 on, 1 out here in the top of the first, and this one sails way outside for ball 1. There's the 1-0 from Bedford, swung on, hit back, snagged by Bedford, over to Torres at second, and on to Alderman at first. It's a 1-6-3 double play for the Big Train defense to get out of the top of the first inning. 1 runner left on base for Silver Spring-Takoma on 1 hit, no runs across, no errors by the Big Train. We get to the bottom of the first with the Big Train due up for the first time tonight. So we welcome you back here inside Povich Field. Hopefully that's a little better audio-wise. Working through a couple different things here in the Danny Walker Alliance press box. The broadcast booth here at Povich Field as it's quickly 0-2 to Austin Gauthier from James Springer, the starter tonight for Silver Spring-Takoma. And he fires outside for ball 1. Gauthier out of the University of Maryland leading off. Again for Sal Colangelo and the Big Train offensively. Second baseman today. Newly committed, I guess about a week or so ago, to the University of Maryland. Transfer portal by way of Hofstra. And Gauthier gives this one a ride to right center field. Not that deep. And Maceda coming over from right will make the play. Christian Maceda out of UMBC, the right fielder. Cordell and Barnett in center and left, respectively. Dunleavy, Rice, first and second. Hauser and Miller, shortstop and third. Palmera behind the dish. James Springer out on the mound for Silver Spring Tacoma. It's a F9, for Austin Gauthier. He continues to try to work his way back into the offensive rhythm he had at the beginning of the season. Darius Foster out of San Francisco, the lefty in left field, showing bunt, pulling back, and taking strike one there.
So I was going to mention this when he was up, but he flew out. Austin Gauthier was named to the ABCA Rawlings All-Northeast Region team as a member of Hofstra a couple days ago, so congratulations to him for that. He's no longer a member of Hofstra. Now he's headed into close territory as Darius Foster. That's the first time he's worn one all season long.
Foster has a penchant for getting on base. He'll do it by whatever means necessary as he takes the hit by pitch there. I think he has one or two. Double check that. A .481 on-base percentage for him and a .560 on-base percentage for the man stepping into the box right now out of the College of William and Mary, the designated hitter tonight. It's Matt Thomas.
Yeah, I also just want to give a shout-out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day, especially my dad and grandpa. Happy Father's Day. Al and Al. And hello to everyone watching. Also, happy anniversary to my parents. But, yeah, so big at-bat here for Matt Thomas. And we'll see if Foster's in motion here. He quite often is when there's no one in front of him on the base paths.
Springer from the stretch puts ball one on the outside edge for Foster. Thomas, pardon?
Matt Thomas has had one heck of a start to the season.
Absolutely. A torrid offensive pace for him in his third year in the CRCBL, second with the big train. He's quite accustomed to this setting and to this sort of competition. .436 batting average. Runner goes. Throw down from Palmera in time, but the slide from Darius Foster beats the tag, and he slides in safely for his 10th. Count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 swipe bags for Darius Foster this year.
And unfortunately for Chris and Catalyst Hot Dogs, Raphael will not be playing the full verse of Born to Run, which he's much to his chagrin.
He keeps it on for as long as he can. And Foster truly is born to run, as the boss would say. So I was saying .436 batting average for Thomas this year as Foster takes a hefty lead off of second now. The 3-1 to Matt Thomas. Springer kicks from the stretch and ball inside and low. It's ball 4 to Matt Thomas. Second base runner of this one. First and second now for Rocco Pepe out of Long Beach State.
Pepe a chance to drive in some runs here. So and he's done that quite a bit this year, and we'll see what he's up to at the dish today.
11 runs batted in for Rocco. Third baseman today, .471. .604 on-base percentage for Rocco Pepe.
That's going to play.
Alarming numbers.
Yeah, that's going to play.
First pitch to Pepe. In there, strike one. A hot and sweaty day here at Povich Field. And Pepe would like to make Springer sweat a little bit here with a runner in scoring position. Thomas on first.
Listed as 88 degrees and mostly sunny here in Rockville.
I'm going to say it's a little more than that. Doesn't feel like 88.
Well, that's what it is listed as, Ben.
Just saying. Just saying. Does not feel like 98 or 88 with the sun directly on us out there from right center field. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball misses low. Throw down to Foster trying to advance on the ball in the dirt, and it does. Throw a little crazy there from Palmera behind the dish. Good job by Darren Miller, the third baseman, to keep that one from going into the grass.
And I think he got him there.
Potentially letting Foster. Oh, really?
I think he got him there, yeah. I think he on the leap, he actually got him on the tag, but tough call by the third base umpire.
Pepe gets under this one and sending it back over the concourse. 1 and 2. Runners on the corners. No score yet here in the bottom of the first with 1 out. Alderman due up behind Pepe playing first today. Jack Cohn, Danny Nerai, Brady Gump, and Keith Torres will round things out for Sal Colangelo. And Pepe fouls this one back again. Here's a look at the Big Train starting lineup. Pepe in there at third base. Batting cleanup. It's a spot that he's lived in a lot since getting here from Long Beach State. And looking to make the most of it here with a chance to clean up some runners on base.
Has a new hot dog named after him as well. Down at the Catalyst Hot Dogs booth. Have to pull that up and see what's on it.
And he gives this one a sharp ride straight to Miller at third. They try to go home to get Foster charging. And Foster able to get back to the third base bag successfully. And so safe all around, bases loaded here in the bottom of the first with just 1 out for Kemp Alderman.
Smart base running play there by Darius Foster to chug back to third base and gets there in time.
And Springer in a sticky spot here for Silver Spring-Takoma in the bottom of the first. And Kemp Alderman, 12 RBIs already on the year. A chance for a couple more to add to that tally. Springer out of the stretch still. Comes set, delivers first pitch to Alderman low, ball 1. And he swings at the 1-0, sends this one deep to left center field. And that one is gone. It's a grand slam home run for Kemp Alderman, and Big Train takes a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
And the first grand slam of the season belongs to none other than the man they call Kemp. Kemp Alderman with a big swing of the bat, and you knew it was coming at some point, and a flush to a 4-0 lead almost right off the bat.
A big fly for Big Kemp, and he crushed that one with a K to clear the bases. 4-0 Big Train, and in steps Jack Cohn with a chance to follow that up.
What a shot off the bat of Kemp Alderman. And unfortunately, we're having some technical difficulties here. We'd love to get that clip of you for you, honestly, but right now we're working with what we got. So we apologize for any of the technical difficulties that are hindering us right now. Just bear with us while we figure out this new program.
Ball 1 to Jack Cohn there. Cohn also out of the College of William and Mary. He's had a great start to this one offensively as he laces this one into the right center gap. That's going to get down. Cohn rounding first and heading for 2. He's going to round. Ball gets lost at the fence. Throw down. And Cohn caught up at third base, trying to stretch that double to a triple. No slide from him, no need, as Cordell was able to get the throw into Miller at third and stop Jack Cohn in his tracks, trying to stretch that for a 3-bagger.
Yeah,
it's a double and a caught trying to advance for Cohn.
Yeah, and he's lucky that wasn't the first or third out of the inning. You never want to be the first out or third out of the inning at third base. Luckily, he had some space in between there to worry about it.
So 1-0 now to Danny Nerai, the catcher. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. 4 runs home on the Kemp Alderman grand slam. Saw just 2 pitches with the bases loaded and took the second one out to deep left center field for his second home run of the year. And this one is high, 2-1 now to Nerai. He's had a great start to his stint with the big train. 667, 750 on base percentage through 6 at bats. 4 hits, 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs and a home run back in Gaithersburg. He lashes this one to center field. Cordell is back to the wall. He reaches up, and it's going to come off the wall. Bouncing off the black batter's eye in center field, and it's Danny Nerai's second double of the year.
A lot of hard hit balls in this inning against Springer. Unfortunately for him, they're all off the wall or over the wall with Kemp Alderman's case. Not getting the outs he's looking for.
Springer's second start of the year. His first start was back on the second day of the regular season against the Big Train in that game that was suspended after 9 innings. Eventually concluded the other day with a 10-3 Big Train win after they brought home 7 in the top of the 10th inning out in Silver Spring-Takoma. Four really solid innings for Springer, the rising junior out of Fordham, or rising senior, pardon, out of Fordham. And a breaking ball misses there on the outside edge. 4 hits, just 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and a 2.25 ERA. And struggling here with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Like you said, a lot of hard hit contact. And checking his swing there is Brady Gump, the third member of the Notre Dame group of players here for the Big Train. We've seen 2 of them already. And this one outside, 3-1 now on Gump. 2 Fighting Irish back-to-back here with Nerai and Gump, 7 and 8. Of course, Matt Bedford, the starting pitcher today for Bethesda, out of South Bend as well. Springer checking back on Nerai at second. Comes set, hands high for the 3-1. Fouled back into the screen. Count is full. And this one misses again. It's ball 4. And another base runner here. It's Brady Gump. And the Big Train have batted through with Keith Torres stepping to the bat here in the bottom of the first.
Always going to be a good game if you bat through in the first inning.
So 4-0, 2 runners on, first and second. Nerai after the double. Gump on first after the walk. And Keith Torres will look to turn things over in spectacular fashion for Austin Gauthier, standing on deck. Led off this inning and led off this game for the Big Train offensively. Feels like a while ago, and yet here we are. 4-0 Big Train. All runs home on the Kemp Alderman grand salami. And Torres swings and miss to even the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one high, ball 2. We'll take some time between innings to try and fix things out. This stream will likely end, so be on the lookout for that when the third out eventually comes here in the bottom of the first. Apologize for the issues. Still working through some things here in Big Train TV as Torres laces this one down the left field line. That's going to stay fair. Coming home from second to score is Nirai. Coach G waving around. Gump from first. He scores, and it's a 2 RBI double for Keith Torres.
When it rains, it pours for this offense, and they just keep on rolling. That's 7 runs in this opening inning, and really just searching for answers is Springer out there on the mound.
6-0 here for the Big Train. As already some arms will start to warm for Silver Sping-Takoma, as Springer just can't seem to get this third out. And stepping into the box for the second time today will be Gauthier, the second baseman soon to be out of the University of Maryland, as we said. And he takes ball 1 on the outside. And again, ball way outside. And it's 2-0 on Gauthier. Six runs already in, 4 hits for the Big Train, a couple walks, 1 hit by pitch from James Springer. It's been a rough start to this outing for the Silver Sping-Takoma T-Bolts pitcher. He'd just like to get this third out and get back to the dugout, let his team try to start chipping away on offense. But first, he'll have to deal with Austin Gauthier in a 2-0 count. This one inside for strike 1.
6-0 lead in the first inning is exactly where you want them if you're the Big Train.
And this one inside again for ball 3, 3-1 now. Springer set. Here's the 3-1. In there. Count full. 3-2 on a good strike at the waist of Austin Gauthier. Springer has continued to battle to the best of his ability. Has not been easy for him, but just looking to get out. And he gets a fly ball foul down the right field line and out of play. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Gauthier gives this one a ride down the left field line.
Oh, my goodness.
And gone.
Holy
Third home
smokes.
run of the year for Austin Gauthier. It's a 2-run shot. 8-0 Big Train here in the top of the first, and the hits just keep coming. You said it best, Tyler. When it rains, it pours, and the downstream is coming as the Big Train offense chugs on.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know how to describe that. That was Kemp Alderman territory, maybe even further. He hit it into the top of the tree in left field. And unfortunately, we don't have the video for you guys right now, but for as far as that one was, that one just deserves, a hat tip if you're a pitcher. That ball was sent maybe into the atmosphere. That was ridiculous.
So Springer will exit. It'll be a pitching change for Silver Sping-Takoma. We'll head to the bullpen as well. We apologize for the technical difficulties. We'll look to come back with 2 outs and a 8-0 lead for the Bethesda Big Train. As we welcome you back here inside Shirley Povich Field on Big Train TV. Apologies for the technical difficulties throughout the first inning, but having no difficulties were the Big Train offense. They hung 8 on Silver Spring starting pitcher James Springer. He exited. We had a call to the bullpen from Silver Spring early as he was relieved by Joe Sarich, who got a ground out from Darius Foster to end the inning as the third out. So the Big Train got 11 batters to the plate, 8 runs home in that first inning. And now they send Matt Bedford out of Notre Dame back to the bump, looking to protect Tyler Gallo and Ben Bobek here inside the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. We appreciate you sticking with us as this game goes on. And this one goes high and inside to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes from Bedford. Highlights of that first inning included, of course, the Kemp Alderman Grand Slam, his second home run of the year, bringing him up to 16 RBIs on the year, as this one is nearly a fantastic diving grab by Keith Torres, but off the very tip of his leather and out onto the outfield grass for a leadoff single for Stephen Rice.
Vacuum doesn't always suck everything up, Ben, right there. As Keith Torres, we know he's a defensive wizard out there on the field, just a shade out of his reach. Maybe if his arms were a little bit longer, he could have gotten to that ball. But, once again, thank you for bearing with us. You missed 2 long home runs by Kemp Alderman and Austin Gauthier. Gauthier's might have been further than Kemp's. I mean, Gauthier sent it, and it went up into that tree down the left field line, the one that's like right in the middle of the @Go Big Train banner, and it bounced off of it. Just a majestic home run in every sense of the word.
I want to get back to Gauthier in a second, as the first one from Bedford into Christian Maceda, the right fielder, bends in there for a strike and bends in there for another strike on the outside edge. 2 beautiful back-to-back breaking balls from Matt Bedford to take on Maceda out of UMBC. Stephen Rice on first after the leadoff single. And here's the 0-2 from Bedford high. Austin Gauthier, not exactly in a slump, but in a little bit of a rut maybe at the top of the lineup, and he started the game off with a fly out and came back in his second time at bat in the first inning with a big fly to left center field for his 3rd home run of the year and a couple really important RBIs perhaps to his confidence.
Absolutely, and that's a slump buster in every sense of the word, if he even was in a slump to call it. I mean, he's still getting on base, just the average isn't there for him.
As this one is laced to deep center field, tracking back is Cone, few steps shy of the warning track, and it's a loud fly out for Christian Maceda as the first out of this inning.
Very loud F8 there for Maceda, but settled into the mitt of Jack Cone.
Cone had a whole day off yesterday after a rough pitching outing for him in Gaithersburg, the losing pitcher in that one. But he's done it with the bat offensively. Nearly had a triple, definitely had a double, and again was caught out by the outfielder trying to, and this one runs way behind Brian Cordell, and he wears it on the back of his lower calf. It's a hit by pitch for Matt Bedford, second base runner this inning, first and second now.
And maybe Bedford, showing some ill effects here after waiting a long time to get back to the mound. Maybe that was almost a 20-minute first inning for the Big Train, 20-minute half inning at least.
As we'll see a check here from the pitching coach and his catcher. As we said, these 2 battery mates, teammates up for Link Jarrett's Fighting Irish at the University of Notre Dame. That pitch, the way it ran so far from its intended target, I'm sure slightly worrisome. Some new fresh baseballs for a home plate umpire as well. And satisfied. Nerai back to the dish. Craig Lopez, pitching coach, back to the dugout. 1 out, 2 on here in the top of the second. Darren Miller, the third baseman, out of Millersville University stepping into the right-handed batter's box.
Uncanny.
Wearing number 12, playing third base tonight for Silver Spring-Takoma. And we heard it the second that inning ended as this one is pulled down the left field line, kicked up some dirt on its way foul. We heard it from the Silver Spring-Takoma pretty clearly as they trotted back to the dugout after finally getting the third out of the bottom of the first inning. Back to the bat now is the mentality. Just got to go get him. 2 runners on here and a chance to string together something offensively to start. It's 0-1 on Miller. 3 strikeouts, double and a run scored in that last game on June the 16th at Blair Field. Cooper Ron's the winner in that one, a 12-3 decision for Big Train. They come into today 10-2, looking to extend that and their lead atop the CRCBL standings. T-Bolts at 2-7, just looking to get their season back on track. Here's the 1-1 from Bedford outside, ball 2.
Nothing lead, the Big Train right now, and Bedford has got to be happy with the lead he's been afforded to on the mound.
Certainly an interesting situation for pitchers to be in. You know, you want to be competitive. You want to be kind of challenged to, you know, hold the opposing team's offense as best you can. And it can be hard to keep your focus both offensively and defensively when you build as quick of an 8-run lead as Big Train has back in the bottom of the first. And the 3-1 misses outside for ball 4.
Yeah, Bedford's
The bases are full.
having a very not fun inning thus far. A lot of traffic on the base paths. Not what you want to see after going up 8. As bases loaded again, and it's Devin Barnett up at the dish.
Barnett, the long left fielder.
And left-hander.
Six foot 5, 210 out of VCU. And he takes a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Silver Spring-Takoma can change this game with one swing of the bat here, as Kemp Alderman was able to change the game with one swing of his piece of lumber. 0-1, 1 out, bases loaded here with Bedford trying to work out of this one. Ground ball would be perfect here as he sends this one inside below the knees. Two home runs from the Big Train in the bottom of the first. And this one again well inside on Barnett. That's 2 balls, 1 strike.
An uncharacteristically wild inning thus far for Bedford. You know, he's a guy that that pumps the strike zone, and he has in his last couple of outings.
We mentioned his stats way back in the first inning, about 45 minutes ago at this point. 11 strikeouts, tied for the team lead in that category. He had that K-juice working as he gets a big swing and a miss there on a breaking ball from Barnett. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes, count is even. Here's a 2-2 swing and a miss. Barnett goes down cutting. And that is a huge swinging strikeout and a big second out for Matt Bedford.
Exactly what you need in that situation, and get a quick out, and makes her a force at any base, any reason to just any out. You can pitch a little bit safer here with 2 outs and that 1 out threshold.
Not as worried about a fly ball to the outfield in this situation. It's the leadoff hitter, Dale Hauser, for the second time in 2 innings. He led off with a single. And takes a cut strike there. Check down the third base umpire. Yes, he did. Here's the 0-1. Beautiful pitch there. Off speed from Matt Bedford. And he has Hauser in a hole, 0-2.
Exactly where you want him. He's got the crosshairs pointed exactly at the strike zone right here. And the target is a K.
Bedford comes set, locked and loaded for the 0-2 pitch. Nerai sets up, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bedford loads the bases with a single hit by pitch and a base on balls, but gets two big swinging strikeouts to end it and strand all three Silver Spring-Takoma base runners. 8-0 Big Train as Silver Spring can't get any across here in the top of the second. Middle two on Big Train TV. Matt Thomas will lead things off as a designated hitter here in the bottom of the second. Takes ball one in the dirt outside. Again from a new pitcher, Joe Sarich, not the same starting pitcher he faced last time at the plate. Walked, came around to score on the Alderman moonshot. Sarich, a 6'3" lefty out of Columbia, Maryland, Elizabethtown University, I think.
Elizabethtown College.
Elizabethtown College.
Unbelievable.
Please excuse me, Elizabethtown, as the 1-2 from
Blue Jays.
Good mascot.
Yeah,
You don't get those a lot.
that's a very great mascot. I think Johns
Sarich.
Hopkins, also the Blue
Yep.
Jays.
Sarich pumps the 1-2 outside and comes back again, a little bit high. Count is full now on Thomas, 3-2, and Thomas, I'm sure, very happy as he cuts through that one for a swinging strikeout.
I don't think he'd be very happy about a swinging strikeout there, Ben.
I was going to say, came in today as the team's RBI leader by a few at 16. And Kemp Alderman managed to tie him with one swing of the bat, so I'm sure he would have been happy to surrender that lead and that statistic, but would have loved to be able to come back and potentially get one more to retake the lead. Instead goes down on strikes to bring up Rocco Pepe. He reached on a fielder's choice and, again, came around to score on the Alderman Grand Slam. I feel like we may be saying that a few times.
And I think you've taken the lead again in homers. Or it's tied at 7. It's either 8-7 or 7-7.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss whether those two actually counted, but we can get into that as a later date. 1-1 to Pepe. He swings and drives this one towards Hauser as short, loses it in the dirt, fires a quick throw over, scooped up by Dunleavy at first. Beautiful save by Tommy Dunleavy to prevent the E for Dale Hauser and get the second out of this one.
Hit on the screws to shortstop, and it showed by the mishandling of that by Dale Hauser at short. So, hardly hit.
Speaking of the devil, it's the mighty righty himself. Number 33 in green, Kemp Alderman broke this game open with one very large swing of the bat back in the first inning. A grand slam straight to the left of the light tower out there in left center field.
I think he hit it
Barely
over.
could see it go out with the glare coming in. Clouds have come in and given us a healthy outfield assist, blocking out the sun as much as they can.
Playing
As
home run
Alderman
derby
takes strike
today.
one.
In the early innings are the big train. Austin Gauthier sent one about a country mile out of the ballpark.
Gauthier really, he's become known to us really for his ability to get on base, his efficiency as a leadoff hitter. But he has some very sneaky power, as we've seen 3 times now.
And by the way,
Would
that's
have loved to see the comparison between his shot to left and Alderman's, but
first home
don't have
runs.
access to that data.
Yeah, for both guys this season. Gauthier especially, he had 2 home runs both on the road.
It's funny. The last time they homered, each homered, it was also in the same game. That game back down in Lorton against the South County Braves, a big win, 13-2, 13-3.
It's 15 to
15-3.
2.
Pardon.
Or 3, yeah.
Alderman takes a hefty cut at a breaking ball there to send the count full 3-2.
Well, as I've seen on Twitter from Ole Miss fans, apparently the scouting report on him is that he loves the fastball, and we obviously have seen him absolutely mash fastballs here. But
Change up off speed there, stayed
But you got to think,
on top of it.
they
able to tap
also
a foul.
probably have that scouting report on the other side, and they'll feed him a little more breaking balls, but he's probably working on handling breaking balls better as he takes one.
And he works that one a walk inside, got away from Palmera, trying to flip it back to the pitcher, and a little too much juice on that. We know he throws hard. He flipped that over the head of Sarich on the mound. Just trying to be a good sport and ended up sailing it. EB there. Throwing error on the batter as Alderman takes his base for the first base runner here in the bottom of the second. Bringing up Jack Cohn, who put a good charge into one. Not a 1-2-3 inning as Alderman able to work the base on balls and bring up the 4th batter of this one. Alderman taking a nice secondary lead off of first and strike 1 in on Jack Cohn. Sarich set from the stretch, breaking ball high inside at the big train across the chest of Stone Cold Jack Cohn. Got the pants rolled up high, green socks showing bright. Bat against that back shoulder, and he swings at the 1-1, fouled it back into the screen. Cohn again put a charge into one back in the first inning. Scored as a double. Gunned down, trying to stretch it to 3. Would love to get safely to second base here as Sarich comes set for the 1-2. And well behind the head of Jack Cohn. Alderman trots down to second. No need to move that quick there as that one missed everything on its way to the backstop.
Easiest base Kemp Alderman will ever take of his career.
I don't know, the way he put a swing into that grand slam home run, those were pretty easy as it's a strike 3 punch out to Jack Cohn. Good breaking ball that just caught the outside edge, and Cohn goes down looking. So no runs on no hits. 1 runner left aboard after Alderman walks and advances to second. It's 8-0 Big Train as we head to the top of the third here from Povich Field. Tommy Dunleavy out of East Stroudsburg, the first baseman tonight, standing in. And taking that one for a ball from Matt Bedford out for his third inning of work. 2 hits allowed, but he's stranded 4 runners as he works a scoreless first and second. He's going to do the same here in the third as he paints the outside corner for strike 1. Ben Bobek, Tyler Gallo here in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. Big Train TV rolling along here. 8-0 Train in the top of the third as this one comes back inside on Dunleavy. We've seen Dunleavy do a lot for Silver Spring-Takoma in different situations. He's pitched, he's hit, he's played the outfield, he's played first base. What can't this guy do? How about record a win against the Big Train? As here's the 2-1 inside, ball 3.
You got to think maybe if the T-Bolts are selling at the deadline here, they'll try to shed Tommy Dunleavy.
When is the CRCBL trade deadline?
Oh, it's got to be at least, the second week of July. You want to leave enough time for the postseason.
Maybe first week of July. You get that 2 days off for the fourth and fifth off with the Independence Day celebrations. Give the front offices time to put their collective heads together and see who they want. As Dunleavy puts a charge into one way foul, way under it down the left field line. Hefty cut at that one.
And if I am
Took a second to admire that foul ball.
If I'm GM Chris Rogers, I'm eyeing up Tommy Dunleavy at the trade deadline.
Do it all utility guy. You can never have too many of those. Here's the 3-2. Swung on foul into the very top of that screen.
Off the helmet of Danny Neary behind the plate.
That's why you wear them. So here's the 3-2. Breaking ball just outside. Great pitch there. Broke a ball or so off the outside corner. And Dunleavy, third straight inning that Silver Spring-Takoma has had their leadoff runner aboard. And yet they've been able to not do much with him.
Bedford has scattered both hits he's allowed and the walks as well.
This one a hefty cut back into the screen for strike 1 on Connor Palmera. Now Bedford set here for the 0-1. Good breaking ball. That time it does catch the outside edge. And it's 1 ball, or 0-2, pardon me. Connor Palmera quickly in a hole here. Neary sets up outside. Here's the 0-2. And protecting there is Palmera. He fouls that one back into the screen, and we'll do it again. Nice crowd here on this Sunday evening at Shirley Povich Field, Captain John Regional Park. Humid as Palmera swings and misses through strike 3 there. It's the third K of the day for Matt Bedford. And the first out here in the top of the third.
Just a beautiful tail on that pitch and gets the huge strikeout there of Palmera. And a big first out of this inning.
I think that was probably the pitch he was looking for. Maybe that slider on the 3-2 to Dunleavy, but just missed his spot a little bit there as 11 fouls the first one off to the left. 11 grounded into that 1-6-3 double play to end the first. Chopped it back to Bedford, who flipped it over to Torres, the second base back. Fired over to Alderman to complete the double play. We got into a nice discussion about the triple play, Tyler, and what do you know? The Yankees come right back out and have a game-ending 5-4-3 in order. Triple play to end their game today against Oakland, get a series win.
I just can't believe it happened, and we'll talk about it in a little bit.
And the 1-1 runs well inside.
Because
Levin able to avoid that for ball 2.
So Chapman had walked a couple of batters and given up a hit, and loaded the bases.
With no outs.
With no outs, he threw 9 balls in 1 strike. I don't know why you're swinging at the first pitch on a guy that hasn't hit the strike zone the entire.
Who was it that grounded out? I don't know if I remember that. And you don't either, apparently, as you reach for your phone. That one
Quick
outside for 3 balls.
Quick check on that one. We'll take a look. Believe it.
Our resident pinstripe fan, I believe, is down on the concourse helping out with social media tonight.
Our resident pinstripe fan, as well as in the Catalyst Hot Dogs booth.
Jersey native, a little bit more acceptable than whatever Quentin Corpuel, our writing intern, is. As this one is chopped toward the right side hole, that one's going to get through. Dunleavy will hold at second, and Levin is on for the first time tonight with a single through the second base hole. Slight shift on with Gauthier at second playing well towards the bag. Alderman holding Dunleavy on at first. No chance to get over.
Looks to
and
be.
It's 2 on, 1 out for Stephen Rice.
I think his name's Sean Murphy, correct? Catcher for the.
You beat me. First one is Stephen Rice, tipped into the dirt, foul tip.
Sean Murphy, the catcher.
That sounds right.
I am correct. I just looked it up.
But yes, a remarkable play. Harking back to our chat yesterday about that very topic. Bedford set. Would like at least 2 here, perhaps, as he gets another foul back into the screen from Stephen Rice out of Salisbury, Division III World Series champions. The Seagulls with a space between them. But in a hole here, 0-2 is Rice, the second baseman. Here it comes from Bedford, outside with the cheese, ball 1.
Some real mozzarella on the outside half there, Ben.
Smooth and creamy.
Mozzarella. That's not correct.
I'm sure Chris would love that. Here's the 1-2 from Bedford. Swung on, hit high in the air towards right. Gump over towards the line, under it. And makes the grab for out number 2. Charging down towards third is Dunleavy. Flip on to Gauthier by Torres, who cut the throw off. And Dunleavy able to slide back. Thought about tagging. Instead, having to hustle back to the second base bag. And it's 2 outs. Runners stay put at first and second for Christian Maceda.
Smart glove flip there from Torres. While it maybe took away the chance of the out there, he had no chance of getting Dunleavy at second base.
Yeah, Dunleavy wasn't really in no man's land quite, but always like to at least put the tag on him, make the umpire think. Never know what's going to happen, especially here in the CRCBL. As Bedford comes set for the first one to Maceda, swinging strike. As Maceda potentially went around. I don't know if that was called a strike or either way, it's a strike. I don't know if it was a swinging strike, as I said initially. Here's the 0-1. Nerai setting up outside for the breaking ball. And again, 0-2 on Christian Maceda. Since walking Darren Miller on 5 pitches in the top of the second part, and Matt Bedford has found his command quickly. Nerai sets up again outside. Swing and a miss. Oh, he tipped it back into the dirt. Nerai collects, punches his glove. Knew that was a great chance to get the third out and the 4th swinging strikeout of the day for Matt Bedford. Instead, we'll do it again at 0-2.
Yeah, and I, while maybe known for his bat a little more, I read online that Nerai is actually pretty great on defense as well, and we've seen that thus far this season.
Absolutely. So here it is, the 0-2. Bedford kicks and delivers. High fly ball, right side. Alderman chasing over, no play, as this one is in to the first base grandstand. And our young fan in a bright yellow hat able to come up with that ball. Very happy heading home tonight.
I would have loved if Kemp Alderman made that catch.
Derek Jeter-esque.
Yeah.
Just diving straight through the protective screen down the first
he's
base
the
line.
gift that keeps on giving this season.
He really is. Just a joy to watch, and from batting practice through the end of the game. Kemp Alderman always putting on a show.
Must see TV.
5th pitch of the at-bat coming here on the 0-2. This time, he gets some swing and a miss from Christian Maceda. 2nd strikeout of the inning. And 4th on the day as Matt Bedford again strands 2 more T-Bolts runners to work a scoreless top of the 3rd. Middle 3 So we pause for a word from our sponsors at the Dandy.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy-Walker syndrome. Dandy-Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
Called strike on Danny Neary, the catcher out of Notre Dame, to start off the bottom of the third inning. Doubled and scored on the 2 RBI double by Keith Torres, who stands in the hole currently as he works the ball there to even the count. 1 ball and 1 strike. Danny Neary apparently can do it all. We've seen very quickly what he can do offensively, as you mentioned, Tyler. Pretty decent with the glove behind the mitt, behind the dish as well, as he takes the 2-1 well inside, ball 3.
Yeah, he is just a show to watch on both sides of the ball, especially like that. So, Danny Neary, big guy to watch out for.
Rising sophomore in the coming academic year with the Fighting Irish, and works a 5-pitch walk there as ball 4 goes well outside with the breaking ball.
And I read online that he intends to major in anthropology. How about that?
Interesting. Good for him, as we look at another person claiming his I Ate a Cicada at Shirley Povich Field summer 2021 shirt. Air fried and parboiled and air fried in that order by president and founder of the Big Train, Bruce Adams. A 17, whatever the word for 17-annual tradition from Mr. Adams and the Big Train. No word yet on whether or not one of us will be trying that on camera. Not sure if the shirt is worth harming my taste buds like that, but who knows? Maybe I can be conned into it in the coming weeks, as it's 0-2 now on Brady Gump. That one a little outside, but a called strike after Neary worked the walk to start this one off. Gump also out of Notre Dame in right field today. Set now for the 0-2, and he puts a charge into this one towards right field. Back towards the wall is Maceda coming in and collecting that one for out number 1.
Neary gave that one a charge, but well placed for the outfielder Maceda.
So 1 out, 1 on for Keith Torres, who delivered in a big way his last time at bat. His 6th hit of the year came as a 2 RBI double. Not necessarily his strength, almost similar to Darius Foster in the way he gets on base and scores runs. Like I said, only 5 hits coming into today, but 10 runs scored as he taps this one towards the third baseman Miller. Over to second and on to first, trying to get 2. They can as it skirts by Dunleavy. Over to second, taking his base is Keith Torres. They get Danny Neary, Miller to Rice at second. So 2 outs, runner on second. It'll be a throwing error by Stephen Rice, the second baseman, on Dunleavy.
The Hawaiian Flies.
Absolutely. As I said, he gets on base via fielder's choice and reaching second on the throwing error, but still on base and still in scoring position for Austin Gauthier in the top of the order.
sink.
Outside to start off Austin Gauthier, who again, a big fly for the newest Maryland Terp. A 2-run shot to score Torres in a very similar scenario. 2 outs, running Torres on second and Gauthier at the bat. And he almost did it there. A huge cut at that one, but it's strike one as he whiffed.
Sent one deep in the first inning. His second at bat of the first inning.
Here's the 1-1 from Sarich. Fouled back towards the parking lot. Down the right field line. One ball and 2 strikes on Gauthier. 11 hits, 13 runs scored, 12 RBIs, 7 walks. As that one, nice breaking ball from Sarich, but a little outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, count even. Batting average slightly up, around 235 now. 335 on base percentage. 3 home runs this year as he takes a cut at the 2-2. And again, fouled back towards the parking lot over the right field fence.
Recent earner of some hardware. You mentioned that earlier on in this game, but the AABA, well, actually I think that's correct, but the Rawlings All-Northeast team, I believe it was, at Hofstra.
Certainly played very well throughout all 4 years at Hofstra. Will be a redshirt senior, I believe, in the coming season with the University of Maryland. As Sarich takes a back foot step off the rubber, resets. Now comes set. Hands just above the belt and kicks and delivers the 2-2. And again, fouled back over the first base grandstand into the bushes. That one stuck. And Austin Gauthier will have to take a drop there. Actually picked up pretty quickly by a fan in I think it's an Aaron Judge shirt. Looks like a 99. Here's a 2-2 again outside, ball 3, and the count is full. It's been a long at-bat for Austin Gauthier. We talked about his ability to do this yesterday. Be patient at the plate. Work the count deep. Make the pitcher out there on the rubber work. As Sarich takes a step off to check on Torres over at second. Just remind him that he's thinking about him. What a thoughtful gesture by Joe Sarich. Now comes set. Ready for the payoff pitch. Here's the 3-2. Inside, ball 4. And Austin Gauthier will take his base.
Great at-bat, great turn at-bat there from Austin Gauthier, and reaches base for the second time today.
Darius Foster, 0 for 1, hit by pitch, stole 2 bases and scored back in the first on, guess what, the Kemp Alderman Grand Slam. He had the shortest trip when that ball left the yard, standing on third. Grounded out to second base to end the first inning. Now steps on with 2 runners on and 2 outs again here in the bottom of the third. Sarich, little jump check over on Torres, time called by Foster first. Foster, 386 coming into today, 17 hits, 15 runs scored, 10 for 11 stolen bags, including that one back in the first inning. He's worked 6 walks as well. Slightly ahead, 1-0 in the count here. And Sarich delivers. Foster pops this one up left side. Under it is the shortstop Hauser, and he collects. for the third out of the inning. So the Big Train get 2 more on, can't bring any more home. They take an 8-0 lead to the top of the 4th here on Big Train. The new pitcher for the Big Train here in the top of the 4th, it's Ryan Lynch. Rounding out the quadruplet of Fighting Irish, we've seen the other, or quintuplet, pardon. We saw one Notre Dame pitcher. Here's another as Lynch takes the mound a day before his 20th birthday. Happy early birthday to him as he sends ball 1 a little inside on Brian Cordell, the center fielder. Worked a hit by pitch. Was stranded at second back in the 2nd inning. As this one's a little low from Lynch. Second outing of the season for Lynch. He made his debut last Thursday, down in D.C. Pretty good 1 inning for him. 1 strikeout. 2 strikeouts, in a 1-2-3 inning. And Lynch, we're going to do something similar here with a 2-2 count, asking for the sign again from Nerai. Now step off, we'll recollect. And do it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, count even. Kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Nerai throws down to Pepe at third as Lynch gets Cordell swinging to start off the 4th.
Good job.
Nothing else to say on a dominating strikeout there from Ryan Lynch. 5th strikeout of the day. Numbers just all wrong up in the brain up here today. 5th strikeout of the day today for Big Train pitching. As Darren Miller out of Millersville steps in. Sends one high in the air towards Jack Cohn in center. Gauthier coming out from second. In from right is Brady Gump. Had the best angle on it. Called off the other 2. And it's 2 pretty quick outs here for Ryan Lynch in the top of the 4th. Devin Barnett now, the 9-hole hitter, looking to turn things over and prevent a 1-2-3 inning for Lynch. Working quickly, steps into the windup. Bounces that one in front of Nerai, ball 1. Good off speed there from Ryan Lynch. But Barnett didn't bite. Little low in the zone. So it's ball 2, 2-0. Again, working quickly. This one chopped straight towards Alderman at first. Coming over to cover is Lynch. Snags it a little behind him on the flip over from Alderman. But it is indeed a 1-2-3 inning as the T-Bolts go down in order. Due up for the big train in the bottom of the fourth, it's Thomas, Pepe, and Alderman, 3, 4, 5. The heart of the order looking to do some more damage, up by 8 here at Povich Field. Early night to the shower for Matt Thomas, the designated hitter, as Christian Martin, wearing number 6, pinch hits here in the bottom of the fourth. And takes ball 1 outside. Martin, a rising freshman at the University of Virginia.
Yeah, and there's a new pitcher on the mound as well.
It's Gabe Delgado, wearing number 23, out of UMBC, 6'3", 195, Ellicott City, Maryland native, Howard High School. Martin, on the other hand, bats left, throws right, and cuts at the 2-1 there, sending it foul to even the count. Amherst, Virginia native, 5'10", 175 for Mr. Martin. One of the newest members of the Big Train, or newest arrivals on the Big Train roster. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Coming over is the shortstop, Hauser. He knocked it down, but not able to glove it. Rice came in over from second to stop it from going any further. And Martin is on with an infield single.
I think that's first hit for Christian Martin in a Big Train uniform, if I'm not mistaken.
Have to double check that one. Just the third game we've seen him in. Got the start yesterday at second base. Pinch hitting here as the designated hitter, and now standing on first, with Rocco Pepe stepping back into the box for the third time tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice, grounded out to the shortstop. California native, Long Beach State player as he works this one high and inside for ball 2. Family's made the trip out from the Golden State. I was told as Pepe works the hit and run with a chopper towards third. Over to second safely is Martin firing from deep in the hole is Miller to gun down Pepe at first. So not quite as smooth as some of the other hit and runs we've seen put on by the Big Train coaching staff. But Martin avoids the double play. And it's just one out with a runner in scoring position here. The big man, Kemp Alderman. Kemp!
Every time I hear the name Kemp, I think back, and I know my dad will appreciate this. We were at Citi Field, and some Yankees fan was in left field, and they were playing the Dodgers, and the dude kept heckling Matt Kemp. He kept saying, "Kemp, you're a bum!"
This one squirts away from Palmera behind the dish. Over to third safely is Martin. And it's ball 1 on Kemp Alderman.
The best part about it, though,
who crushed one with a K back in the first inning.
So the dude eventually got ejected from the game because he kept getting to be annoying. But Jock Peterson took over for him in left during that game, and he goes, "Hey, Peterson, tell Kemp he's a bum, and so are you."
As Alderman slashes this one into the right field for another RBI, and it's a solo lead atop the Big Train runs batted in standings for Kemp Alderman with his 17th of the season there on a single.
Great piece of hitting going the other way. Oppo field stuff for good old Kemp Alderman.
Jack freaking Cone step into the box now, looking to earn that nickname here with the locks hanging out the back of his helmet. One of many nicknames bestowed by a number of sources, whether it's Dr. Christy Voigt and the training staff, the bullpen, us here in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. Just seems to have different names stick to him. So I believe that's a pinch runner for Alderman at first. 9-0 now, Big Train after Martin comes home to score.
It looks to be Riley Johnson at first base.
Riley Johnson. We'll see what the defensive change is. Maybe Sean Ewell in as Cone laces one to right center. Back is Cordell, and he's able to track this one down on the warning track. So a couple of hard hit balls for Jack Cone, but hasn't been able to reach base safely yet. And heads back to the dugout here for Danny Neary.
You know, and I read online that Danny Neary is really looking for a base hit here.
Not yet an RBI opportunity with the pinch runner Johnson standing at first, but we'll see how long that lasts as Johnson takes a quick little secondary lead. Thought about it, but stays put. Palmera was ready to back check.
Any situation is an RBI situation if you go yard.
Be a very timely spot for Neary's second of the season as he takes a breaking ball there from Gabe Delgado inside ball 1, pardon.
3 runs away from the witching run.
3 consecutive 7-inning games would certainly be something. I don't know if there's a soul in this broadcast booth that would complain. So here's the 1-1 to Neary inside for a strike. 1-2. 2 outs. 1 runner on first. Bottom of the 4th here at Povich Field. Neary looking to extend this one. Runner goes. Chopped foul down the first base line by Neary. And so Johnson will have to retreat back to first base. And we'll set up again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Neary 1 for 1 with a double, 1 run scored. Walked, was caught up in a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. Here's the 1-2. Punched out is Danny Nerai. That one catches the inside edge of the plate. Delgado gets his first strikeout of the game. And the Big Train get one more here in the bottom of the fourth, but Strand, one base runner, just their second of the game. So they take a 9-0 lead here to the top of the fifth on Big Train TV. Dale Hauser in the top of the T-Bolts order here in the top of the fifth. Still facing Ryan Lynch out of Notre Dame. Nolan Shanuel will replace Kemp Alderman at first after Alderman was pinch ran for by Riley Johnson after his RBI single in the bottom of the fourth. And it's a bender in there for strike one on Dale Hauser. Lynch wiping off the glove. Now getting new signs from Nerai. And delivers 0-1 perfectly on the inside edge of the plate with the fastball there. 0-2 on Hauser.
Offense has been quiet, really, since the first inning. That was the first run since that 8-run explosion in the first inning.
Here's the 0-2 from Lynch outside with the cheese. I want to bring it in, put it in the fridge. 1-2.
No comment on that.
Lynch comes set, hands at the chest, wiping off the signs again from Nerai. And time called. They'll reset again. Lynch with the hands set before Hauser steps back into the box. Practice cut, taps the plate twice. Another practice cut, and Lynch already into the windup. 0-2 in there, punch out straight over the middle of the plate. And Ryan Lynch has it gunning.
So I guess what I read online was true in that Danny Nerai calls a good game. And he has thus far.
Just the first strikeout looking out of 6 now for the Big Train pitching staff. Second of the day for Lynch. And he's right back into his windup, back to work with the ball on the outside to Tommy Dunleavy. First baseman. Popped up to Gauthier at second. Walked and stranded at second. 0-for-1.
Hey, that's a podcast I'm on. Literally called Stranded at Second. Shout out Stranded Sports.
Lynch set again out of the 2-0. Here's the windup. And bounces away from Nerai. 3-0 now to Dunleavy. And a long way to go for Nerai. I mean, first base coach called him off. Nerai was about to bend over, pick it up. First base coach had to come all the way down from the bag, pick it up. Now gets to walk all the way back. New ball for Danny Nerai and Ryan Lynch out on the mound. Dunleavy steps back in. 3-0. High, but in there for a strike. 3-1. Into the windup. Breaking ball, a little too high, a little too outside. And it's the second walk of the day for Tommy Dunleavy.
Worked 2 pretty good turn at bats tonight. And the trade deadline is approaching.
Can confirm that Chris Rogers, general manager, it's not actually his job, as Sal is the director of baseball operations as well. But Chris is up here in the press box watching the game. In between one of the many jobs he's running around doing. Wears many hats, many different
I've never
big
seen
train
him wear
shades.
a hat.
It's a hypothetical. I don't know, whatever the word is.
Metaphor.
Swinging, metaphor, sure. Swinging at that one is Paul Mara. It's 0-1. 0-2. Fouled way back towards the Silver Spring Tacoma bullpen. And Lynch will settle in here from the stretch. Dunleavy on first for the 0-2. Comes set, hands high at the neck. Settles, checks on Dunleavy, now comes home. Check swing. Didn't go around as a first base umpire, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Zach Lynch, we've seen 2 pretty good appearances from him thus far. I believe we're just 1.
Ryan Lynch. You're
Ryan
just
Lynch?
confusing it with our dear friend Zach Locke.
A lot of L guys in that bullpen as well.
L's and B's. The Pounders.
Call them the linebackers.
Pounders. LB is the abbreviation for pound.
I don't like that.
Okay.
Libres is what LBs means.
Here's the 1-2 inside again. Count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Actually, that's not correct, but sounded cool.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on. Fouled over our heads. Out of play. Count stays. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lynch on the year with Notre Dame. Just 2/3 of an innings pitched. 1 strikeout, 3 walks. But has certainly settled in and shown the stuff through his 2 appearances now with the big train. Gets a chopper towards Pepe at third. That one called foul. But a nice glove play by Rocco down there at the hot corner. Athletic family for Lynch. Son to Greg and Diana. Greg played ball at Wisconsin. Older sister Christina plays soccer down for Knowles Nation at Florida State. And Ryan comes set here for the 2-2 inside. Gets away from Nerai. Over to second is Dunleavy. He'll round and stay there.
He got crossed up a little bit. As there are hot dogs here, in fact.
There certainly are. If you haven't had a chance to check out Catalyst Hot Dogs here at Povich Field, you are missing out.
Almost a pregame.
You said Rocco has one named after him.
Yes, Rocco. Oh, I
Any
will
details
pull
on that? Come on.
Yes. I'm sorry, Ben. You know what? I was focused on other things at the time, but
Here's the 3-2 from Lynch. Swung on and fouled again, giving Tyler more time to find out what Rocco Pepe's namesake hot dog contains.
yes. And he gets roasted red peppers, pecorino, sharp provolone with a balsamic glaze. $8 or $15 in a combo. Available exclusively at Big Train Games.
That's
and,
beautiful.
I will pull up the picture for us here on the broadcast in just a second.
Might have to sample that one at a later point in time. Maybe we'll sample it with Rocco. We'll get Rocco to talk us through what his hot dog is like. As this one is lined straight back up the middle. Having to duck is Ryan Lynch. Dunleavy coming home around. Sean Ewell cut it off, and tried to cut it off. It was over his head, bouncing to Nerai. Dunleavy stays at third. And Palmera moves the runner on with a hard hit single back up the middle after a long 3-2 count.
And he smoked that baseball.
So runners on the corners, one out here. T-Bolt's threatening again. And no 11, the designated hitter, would like to break the duck on the scoreboard in the away line.
They do have an 11 in the lineup, and it's Brian Cordell. Noah 11. I'm sorry.
Strike one on the designated hitter wearing number 9. And inside again from Lynch. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
So we'll pull up the Rocco Pepe dog in just a second.
1-1 chopped up. Gauthier can't get to it. Dunleavy comes home from third. It's back-to-back hits up the middle for Silver Spring-Takoma, and they have their first run of the day with an RBI single there from Levin, the designated hitter.
Yeah, another good piece of hitting. Took the glove, and there's some laundry on the field after that base hit off of Ryan Lynch.
Palmera to second. Runner 2 on, still 1 out here, top of the 5th.
Well, with Pepe due up next, or Pepe is no longer due up, so we should we'll bring up the hot dog in just a second. So we hear hot dogs here one more time.
Not just hot dogs, he's got burgers on that little cart of his, as this one is fouled straight back into the screen, and it's an 0-2 hole for Stephen Rice. Second baseman, 1 for 2 today, singled, flew out to Gump in right. Lynch gets the sign from Nerai, now delivers high, ball 1. One-two set from the stretch, grounded up the middle, off the mound, and again past the diving Austin Gauthier. Throw comes home from Cone in center field. Shanuel cuts it off. It's the second straight RBI single for Silver Spring-Takoma, and it's now a 9-2 lead for Bethesda.
They should just place a guy right up the middle. That's 3 consecutive hits exactly in the same spot up the middle.
We have a pinch hitter here.
It's Justin Carboni.
Justin Carboni in for Christian Maceda. Rising junior at Penn. Washington, D.C. native. As Lynch wipes the signs off there from Nerai again. And this one sailed past Nerai. And the runners advance 2 in scoring position here, still 1 out. Maceda was 0 for 2. With a fly out and a strikeout. As Carboni takes strike 1 in there. One swung on and missed. First swing and a miss in a while for Ryan Lynch as he puts a nice breaking ball behind Carboni into the mid of Nerai, and a chance to make this inning a little bit quicker here in a 1-2 count. Lynch comes set. Nerai sets up outside. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a beautiful off speed on the outside edge. Second strikeout of the inning with plenty of action in between. And it's 2 outs, 2 on. Here for Brian Cordell, the center fielder.
Big out there for Ryan Lynch. Is 2 outs here, and you just need to settle in here and get one more.
Lynch will try to do just that here as he comes set from the stretch and firing one a little high in on Cordell. One for 3 the last time these two teams met. Singled and scored. Walked. And struck out looking in his final plate appearance of the day. As the 1-0 misses a little bit inside on the lefty Cordell. 2-0. Lynch comes set again here and swinging, grounding it straight to Sean Ewell, who will wave off Lynch and step on first himself. 3-2 to end this one, but the T-Bills chip away for the first time tonight. 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 2 aboard, and it's a 9-2 Big Train lead. Middle 5 here at Poe. Brady Gump will start things off here for the Big Train as this game is officially official. As we start off the bottom of the 5th with an inside pitch to Gump for ball 1. Gump walked and scored back in the first. Flew out to then Christian Maceda in right. He has been replaced by the pinch hitter Justin Carboni as a defensive substitution as well, as Gump takes that one for strike 1. Both teams really settled into a rhythm here as Gump drops this one into left center field for his first base knock of the day. Second trip, and it's a nice leadoff single here for Brady Gump in the bottom of the fifth against the new pitcher for Silver Spring-Takoma. It's the 6'8", 230 righty Wesley Krieger. Rising sophomore out of Louisiana, Texas. And Krieger really had a rough outing against the Big Train back in that previous game that we've mentioned a few times last Wednesday now. As Torres shows bunt, pulls it back as that one skirts away inside for ball one.
And Gump's really picked it up recently. He's been, after starting off the season a bit slow, he's picked it up almost tenfold since he started off the season pretty soft. And just been a nice last couple of days for Brady Gump.
Krieger just an inning and a third. On the season so far as he fires this one on the outside edge for strike one now to Torres. Set from the stretch for the 1-1. Bounces that one. Runner goes down to second. Good play from the catcher, Palmera, to recover that one in the dirt and gun down Brady Gump trying to take second. That was an impressive play by the Silver Spring-Takoma backstop there.
Seed there from the backstop, Palmera there. We saw him use that arm pretty well the last times these teams played. Just hasn't had a chance to really show it off. And right there he did.
As Krieger pops the mitt there. Like I said, 1 1/3 inning for Krieger. Allowed 2 runs, but none of them earned. 1 strikeout and a 0.00 ERA. 3 walks in the 9th inning there for the Big Train. As he issues the first one of this one to Keith Torres. So Connor Palmera behind the dish erases the leadoff single for Brady Gump. But straight back to first base goes Keith Torres to turn the order over here for Austin Gauthier. I believe Krieger came into that 9th inning last time against Big Train with the bases loaded. Like you said, 3 walks. 2 of those walked home a run. But he also did strand the bases loaded with a fly out to right for Grant Knipp. And so none of the batters he put on base scored. No earned runs. Just allowing 2 of the inherited base runners to come home as Gauthier checks his swing, but goes around there on a ball in the dirt for strike 2. 0-2. Krieger looking a little bit more controlled here already. As Gauthier able to prevent the bat going around this time. And a ball outside in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gauthier 1 for 2. But that one was a very big one. A 2-run home run. As Torres dances off first. That one in the dirt. Loses. Palmera finds it. And this time Torres is down safely as Palmera couldn't get a handle on it in the dirt. Finally able to launch it down. Try to get Torres. But from one Hawaiian to another, Torres wins that battle and reaches second safely to put a runner in scoring position. Here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th.
More fleet of foot. It's Keith Torres, so he's able to beat that one out.
And Gauthier lashes this one towards Rice at second. Can't handle it on the dive. And Gauthier reaches safely. That thing was a rocket off the bat.
Yeah, absolute seed off the bat of Austin Gauthier, and he reaches with another single, his second hit of the day.
Double check the scoring of that one. Believe it will stand as a single. It was a passed ball on the Torres advancement to second, which took out any chance of a double play. Not that Rice really would have been able to get a look at one there. Indeed, a single for Gauthier. Second hit of the day. It's turned out to be a very nice day at the plate so far for the leadoff man, Austin Gauthier. Darius Foster would like to turn it around and make it one of those for himself as well here as he takes ball one. 0 for 2. Hit by pitch and scored in the first. RBI opportunity. Runners on the corners. This one bounces away on the inside. Torres comes home. It's double-digit runs for the big train tonight as it's number 10 there. 10-2 the lead. Gauthier over to second. Still an RBI opportunity for Foster with the first base open now.
And the runs keep coming in droves for this squad and shows that they are a cut above the rest here in this division. I mean, they've rolled over almost every team this year, and they've beat every team at least once. Now after they knocked off the Alexandria
Foster
Aces.
Shows bunt, pops a foul down the left side.
Actually, I think they've almost beat every team at least twice besides DC besides DC. They've only played once.
I think you're right.
They took 2 from Silver Spring, took 2 from South County. They took 2 yesterday from Alexandria.
Coming off a sweep of the doubleheader.
I do believe they still need to beat. I mean, I think they have beaten Gaithersburg twice.
They've beaten Gaithersburg. They're 2-1 versus Gaithersburg and 2-1 versus Alexandria. 10-2 on the season. Looking for win number 11. Two wins after having to wait a while for that first one against Silver Spring-Takoma. As we said, rain delayed after completion of 9 innings. They played a whole 11 last Wednesday. Played the 10th and the 11th extra innings first, then went into the second game, as I'm sure you saw here on Big Train TV. If you missed it, you can find the replays of that game and every game here on our YouTube channel. Find highlights, player interviews, and more as Foster works a walk by taking that one high and inside, and Darius Foster is on base yet again.
Yeah, and standing on deck, we have a chance to show you his hot dog, so hopefully, barring a double play here from Christian Martin, he will come up to the plate.
Martin pinch hit for Thomas in his previous plate appearance, and the designated hitter will step to the plate in back-to-back innings. Singled and came around to score on the RBI single by Kemp Alderman.
Rest in peace, Kemp Alderman, no longer in this game.
He's not dead.
Well, I know he's not dead, but his
Just
time in this game is.
Actually, he technically could re-enter.
Yeah, he technically could come in as a pitcher.
As this one outside, ball 2. We did get to see Kemp on the mound for the first time last night. It was an entertaining pitching appearance, first of the year, as Martin chops at the 2-0 foul. Dancing off second is Gauthier. Palmera thought about a back pick on him, but Gauthier able to retreat after ball 3 to Christian Martin. So here's the 3-1. And just outside for strike 2, catches the edge there. Wesley Krieger. Pretty good inning for him so far. Would love to get out of this one without any more damage as Both runners go. Double steal on with the walk instead. They'll just advance as Christian Martin works the walk
So, yeah, now
to
it's
load the bases.
good time to take a look at Rocco Pepe's hot dog as he stands in the plate. Rocco Pepe's hot dog, roasted red peppers, pecorino, and sharp provolone with balsamic glaze, $8 or $15 in a combo, available exclusively here at Povich Field when Catalyst Hot Dogs is here, and it looks pretty good. We might have to see if we can get them sent up here and give them a try. I'd love to see what it actually tastes like, but it does look pretty good, and that is the Rocco Pepe dog. I don't know if it's official name. I would call it the Pepe.
The Italian
Stallion
combo.
That's
I
actually
don't know. Nah, I don't know. That's just. I mean, it's balsamic glaze, roasted red peppers, shaved cheese.
the Pepe.
The
How about that?
Pepe.
The Pepe.
I wonder if
The baby? You know, Rocco Pepe looks like the baby.
he doesn't.
You look like the baby.
No, I don't. Wesley Krieger stays in the mound after a mound visit. Gets the first pitch from Rocco Pepe straight off the glove of Dale Hauser. 1 run coming home to score. In from second is Darius Foster. It's 12-2. Big train.
Hot dog. Rocco Pepe drives in a pair there. Not sure if he's going to get the RBI, as that was likely an error for this team. Yes, it'll go down as an error, so no RBI on the play for him, but Pepe hit that ball as hard as some roasted red peppers will hit you later on in the night.
No, they won't. Roasted red peppers are delicious.
I know, but they'll hit you.
Okay. Martin over to third. Runners on the corners with Pepe dancing off first as Nolan Shawnuel in for his first plate appearance. Worked the last inning in defense. $16 for as Pepe now goes from second, throw down, not in time, but it bounces past Hauser. And so with that ball in the outfield grass, Christian Martin able to trot home from third pretty easily for the 4th run of this inning and make it 13-2.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have officially reached
The
witching run, where long games become short games and short games become long games, I guess.
And short games become final.
Become final here in the bottom of the 5th. Shawnuel can drive one in here like he's been so accustomed to in situations such as this.
10 RBIs for Shawnuel on the year. Could make it 11 here with Pepe on second base. 1 out, 1-1. Shawnuel drives this one to center field, but that one's going to drop as Cordell can't make the sliding play. Pepe over to third. Shawnuel safe at first. And it's still just 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th.
So we'll see if that's an error. Ben was about to leap from his seat there as Shawnuel crushed that. I think that's going to be another error on Cordell unless otherwise seen, but the throw into center was also an error. So we'll see what they score it here. They're still waiting on that. And
That's a hit. Well deserved for Nolan Shawnuel.
Another hit with a runner in scoring position for Shawnuel.
Is coming up with a hefty cut there. Pepe would have probably scored if it hadn't looked like Brian Cordell was going to make that play. Instead, he's down at third, 90 feet away here for Jack freaking Cone, who laces one through the legs of Rocco Pepe and foul. Megged his own teammate there.
A bit jumpy here tonight, partner.
Just bringing the energy as always.
Jack freaking Cone get a base hit here. He'd drive in that freaking 12th run. Or 12th lead run, I guess.
And Cone drives one the other way. That's going to get down in front of Carboni. Pepe comes home to score. Over to third is Shawnuel. And it's a big RBI single for Jack freaking Cone.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Another 12-run lead for the Big Train. If they can just get through these next 2 innings unscathed, they'll roll into Victory Station a bit earlier than previously scheduled and listed on the arrivals and departures list.
The Big Train running ahead of schedule. Mr. Blue Sky plays up Danny Neerai. Because we're all just poets, even if we don't know it. First pitch, breaking ball in there on the outside edge. Strike one on the Notre Dame backstop.
You know, I read online that Danny Neerai would love to drive in a run here.
I feel like you said that last time he was at the plate, and this time he's going to do it. Laces this one to right center field. That's going to roll. Carboni cuts it off in front of the warning track. Hustling down to second base. It's the second double of the day for Danny Neerai. Brings in Sean Ewell from third. It's 14-2. The train rolls on.
Everybody getting in on the action here. 15-2, that same score that we saw in Lorton. And, you know, gin and juice here for Mr. Brady Gump. Or drop it like it's hot. Excuse me, I had my songs mixed up. He's looking to drop another run in on the board like it's hot. It is pretty hot outside. Keep these bats hot. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dog.
Dishonoring the Snoop D-O-double-G with that one. Cone over to third. Neerai on second. Two in scoring position here for the man who led this inning off with a sharp hit single as he takes a bender in there at the chest for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Getting the signs in from Coach G.
The big train
Galvin Morris down the third base line.
They can continue to tack on here, you know. The mercy rule doesn't come into effect until
Just
the 7th
one
inning.
out. As another beautiful bender in there from Wesley Krieger, but a little more inside this time. Ball 2.
Maybe bidding to make sure that they get that mercy rule victory out of the way. If they keep tacking on runs here, it'll behoove them to get some more on the board. Never taking the foot off the gas pedal.
Second time this game that the big train have batted around. 6 runs already across in this frame, 8 in the first, with 1 sprinkled in back in the 4th. And checking his swing there is Gump. He went around, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. No, that was called a ball. Ball 3. Count as full.
Intriguing.
So here it is. Payoff pitch from Krieger. He sets and delivers and loads the bases with a walk to Brady Gump to bring up Keith Torres for the second time this frame. Sam Bender will run a plethora of batting gear back to the dugout. Hands getting a little full out there for Coach Bender, collecting all the various protective gear worn by the big train batters as they make the trip past first base. And this one high to start off Keith Torres. He walked.
I don't believe it's
scored the
ball
first
5.
He came around to score the first run of this inning long ago, and now comes back to bat with the bases loaded here. And just 1 out for Wesley Krieger, who has worked now 2 laborious innings against the big train in his 2 appearances versus him. Now has a couple earned runs, as this one well inside, and an ERA of 109.09.
You know, what's his FIP, though? Maybe his FIP tells a different story. No, it's been a very rough season thus far for Wesley Krieger.
Just trying to find the command. Pumps in a strike there. 2-1 on Torres. 1 for 1. Doubled and scored in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice. Advanced to second in the third. And again, walked and came home to score way back at the beginning of this inning. And now we'll walk in another run with Jack Cone coming in from third. And out to the mound is the Silver Spring-Takoma coach, pardon. And that will be the end of the line for the tall righty Wesley Krieger. He'll trot back to the Silver Spring-Takoma dugout, and we'll take a second for our friends at the Dandy Walker Alliance. Pitching change for Silver Spring Tacoma when we come back on Big Train.
1 in 10,000 children are born with a brain malformation known as Dandy Walker syndrome. Dandy Walker can cause enlargement of the skull, lack of muscle control, and other developmental challenges. More research is needed, but we do know that early therapy helps many live healthier, fuller lives. 1 in 10,000 may not seem like a lot unless your child is the one. Learn more, find help, and help others. Visit dandy-walker.org.
New pitcher in for the T-Bolts to face Austin Gauthier, and the top of the order for the second time through here in the bottom of the fifth. 7 runs already across in the frame to Wesley Krieger, and it's going to be the man Krieger relieved back in Silver Spring on June the 16th. Evan Lewis, also out of Louisiana Tech, and he'll start off with the hand set at the belt out of the stretch and fires this one low for ball 1 to Gauthier. Two for 3 today with a walk, 2 runs scored, and of course that big fly home run back in the first, pardon. I have it scored in the second because of course he and the big train batted around that inning. Here's the 1-1 inside. Gauthier not happy with having to take that one from Evan Lewis. On the year, a 13.51 ERA, 3 1/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts. Here's the 2-1 to Gauthier in there. Strike 2. Count is even. Coming into tonight, this will be Lewis's 4th appearance. He's allowed 5 earned runs, 8 total, 4 hits, but the command has been an issue. 5 walks and 4 strikeouts for the rising sophomore out of Severna Park, Maryland, pardon, that's a typo. Here's the 3-2 inside to Gauthier. Picking right back up where Krieger left off. Walking home another run, and it's 17-2 Big Train.
Well, things keep just snowballing on this inning.
So Darius Foster walked, came home to score in this inning. And with the bases loaded here, just one out, looking to do some more damage and widen this scoreline. Big Train perhaps looking to get to 20 for the first time this year.
That would be their highest scoring inning.
This already is. Oh, pardon. I was going to say
Come
this
on.
is already their highest scoring game. You're
Come
saying
on,
it would
man.
be their highest scoring inning. You would be correct as Foster swings through that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm running out of space in my scorebook.
Aren't we all? Here's the 0-1. Check swing. Did not go around, so now it's 1-1. Or I guess that was 1-2, and Foster did indeed go around, so he strikes out swinging. And it's the second out of the inning.
Mercifully.
Pardon me, not exactly sure. Scoreboard wasn't updating there. And so it's Christian Martin to the bat again for the third time today as he takes a strike in there from Lewis. Gauthier on first, Nerai on third. Actually, I think it's Gump on third, Torres on second, and Gauthier on first. As it's strike 2 in there to Christian Martin. Bat rests on his shoulder. Now he brings it up, waggling and swinging and missing through strike 3 there. So Evan Lewis comes in and promptly gets the 2 strikeouts that the T-Bolts need to get out of this one. But not before it's another 8 spot here for the Big Train. In the bottom of the 5th, they take a massive 15-run lead, 17-2 to the top of the 6th. You're on Big Train TV. Ryan Dougherty, the first non-Notre Dame pitcher of the day, as he relieves Ryan Lynch after 2 strong innings. 2 runs across. And ball high from Dougherty to start off Darren Miller, the third baseman. And now kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss. Hefty cut there from Miller. Dougherty, a couple appearances as the designated hitter when the Big Train were rolling with a short bench in the beginning of the year. And another great swing and a miss through that one for Miller. And it's 1-2. Just one appearance. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Pumping heat coming out the gate.
Absolutely. Just one appearance for him on the year pitching as he runs this one a little too inside. 1/3 of an inning of work. And not his best inning of work. 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Didn't let up any runs, though. I believe. As he gets a swing and a miss there from Darren Miller to start things off. Picking right up where Matt Bedford and Ryan Lynch left off. And it's a big cut. And a big first out on a big Train TV.
So, yeah, that'll bring up Devin Barnett.
Barnett 0 for 2. Ground out to Sean Ewell at first. As he pops this one straight up over our head. That one might bounce off the roof. I'd reach up and grab it if I could. Struck out swinging back in the second inning. With the bases loaded. And behind here, 0-1. And now 0-2 as Dougherty drops in a beautiful bender. Barnett 0 for 10 on the season. Just looking to get going here as this game goes on. Here's the 0-2. In there, strike 3 called. Danny Nerod didn't even need to wait for it as he threw down to Pepe. Beautiful back-to-back strikeouts of Miller and Barnett to start off the top of the 6th for Ryan Dougherty.
Exactly what you want to see coming out of the bullpen. Getting strikes, working fast, and changing speeds. But, I mean, he's been all 1 speed right now.
And that speed is that as he pops it a little high. Want to know on Dale Hauser at the top of the order, shortstop. Takes strike 1. Called there by the home plate umpire. And now 1-2 from Dougherty. He comes set, hands at the belt between his legs in the windup. Brings the glove over his face, drops the hands low, kicks, delivers high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hauser checks back in, ready to take the 2-2. Here it comes. High again. And now it's 2-2. Pardon. Now it's 3-2. I had it right the first time. Always ahead of the scoreboard operator. Here it is. Payoff pitch with 2 outs from Dougherty. Swing and a miss. Ryan Dougherty strikes out the side in the top of the 6th in dominant fashion as he gets Miller, Barnett, and Hauser to go down. Middle 6 here at Povich Field, a 17-2 lead for the Big Train. Mr. Hot Dog himself, Rocco Pepe, to start us off in the bottom of the 6th inning, working a 15-2 lead. 15-run lead, 17-2. Beg your pardon. He takes ball 1, and now cutting at the 1-0, sending it very high down the right field line and just out of play, bouncing off the bleachers and over towards the batting cage area. Scramble for that foul ball. Pepe checking in at a Long Beach State. Working out of the right-handed batter's box, Lewis in his 2nd inning of work. Here's the 1-1. Pepe again gets a little bit under this one and sends it straight over our heads. Ben Bobek and Tyler Gallo here with you in the Dandy Walker Alliance broadcast booth. George Solomon press box here at Shirley Povich Field. As it's 1-2 on Rocco Pepe. Lewis comes set, kicks, delivers, and bouncing that ball to even the count again in the dirt in front of the catcher, Connor Palmera.
A lot of jumbled spaces in this scorebook today, for me at least.
Definitely not going to be an easy one to read back later on, as Pepe, protecting here with 2 strikes, taps this one foul towards the Big Train dugout up the left side.
Mr. Hot Dog. Mr. Catalyst. He's Catalyst in the lineup, too.
8 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, and 3 runners left on base in that big 5th inning for the Big Train. And now looking to keep the offensive momentum chugging along here in the bottom of the 6th. Pepe looking to start things off as he works the count full. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and driven foul off the fence. He got a little bit of an early jump on that one. Had some great contact towards the protective net down the left field line. And so we'll do it all again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Bethesda just had a beautiful night at the dish. No other way to slice it.
2 and down on strikes there as Pepe thought it was ball 4 instead. It's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Evan Lewis. And Pepe will head back to the dugout. And Sean Ewell out of Florida Atlantic, first baseman tonight in replacement of Kemp Alderman out of Ole Miss. With 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th now. And takes ball 1 on the inside. Sean Ewell, an RBI single. Came around to score, and he drives this one towards right center field. Discards the bat. Light tower power for Nolan Sean Ewell as he sends that one into the deep night. Into the forest and out of here. Nolan Sean Ewell makes it 18-2.
That is light tower power in the highest regard. Is that Nolan Sean Ewell or is that Manny Ramirez?
The lefty pulls that one into right center field and celebrates with the best bat boy in the CRCBL. Obliterated. Deleted baseball, gone forever.
Yeah, and that'll bring up Trevor Doyle, I think, is going to get a pinch hitting appearance.
And Jack Cohn's night will be done as he's indeed replaced by the pinch hitter now announced. And Doyle comes up hacking, sending this one very high and very foul down the left side. And Doyle, after taking the first pitch foul, works that ball inside. Breaker there from Evan Lewis.
I would hope that was a hit, official score.
Nice to be reminded as that bender finds the back of Palmiera's mitt a little too outside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Doyle.
Yeah, that ball was crushed. Great sound off the bat. Reminds me of an old Juan Uribe home run.
Back in there to even the count. I hope Alexandria's catcher from the second game was watching that one so he knows what a no-doubt home run in this ballpark looks like.
Aaron Adams with a loud laugh.
Nolan Shanuel didn't need to hustle first there as Doyle chops that one foul the other way.
I like the leg kick Trevor Doyle has. I want to see him just time one perfectly and send one exactly how Nolan Shanuel did.
Back-to-back lefties. We've seen a little more pop from Shanuel than Doyle this year, but certainly he's got that somewhere in his arsenal. As here's the 2-2 inside. Send the count full.
Encroaching dangerously on another column in the in the scorebook. My scorebook is just a wash at this point. I have guys in spaces they aren't supposed to be because of pinch runners and a lot of stuff.
Got to do what you got to do.
Palmiera going to maybe get some new laundry. I saw, you should have seen Trevor Doyle's face when he saw a home run that Kemp Alderman hit in batting practice.
Sure, it looked like a lot of our faces.
As Danny Tchaikovsky tries to hijack our broadcast there. But he was like, wow.
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 Lewis set for the 3-2. Here it comes to Doyle. He chops this one to the first base side. Dunleavy will take it himself. It's a 3-U and the second out of the inning.
And that'll bring up Danny Nira.
A strikeout looking for Rocco Pepe. A deep big fly for Nolan Shanuel and a ground out to the first baseman, as we'll see our third straight lefty here with Danny Nira again. Bats left, throws right. Not a left-handed throwing catcher, as those are very rare. Nira takes that one inside for strike 1.
Yeah, and you got to think maybe some guys could come in and make a left-handed catching appearance, but never.
Quickly in a hole here to Lewis, 0-2. As Neri looks at a breaking ball on the outside edge for ball 1 now. Taps the bat, gives it a swing, and checks back in here, ready to face the 1-2. Here it comes. And he swings meekly at that one, but able to get the tip of the bat on that one and put it into the dirt for a foul tip to stay alive here at 1-2.
You got to wonder how our counterpart in the booth is feeling on the other side about this game.
I'm sure he's used to it. Here's the 1-2 from Lewis. Breaking ball outside again, ball 2.
You know, I haven't seen an inning as bad as the last one was for, Krager. I think I have to go back. You'd have to go back to, Jeremy Guthrie had a pretty bad start a couple years ago for Washington. Alec Bettinger has the worst start this year.
As Neri gets under this one, sends it high into the night, but settling under it is Cordell. He collects it for the third out of this bottom of the 6th inning. Big Train 3 outs away from putting the icing on this cake and rolling on to their 11th victory of the season. It's Dunleavy, Palmiera, and Levin due up for Silver Spring after Nolan Shanuel adds one more on the solo shot here in the bottom of the 6th on Big Train TV. Danny Chikoski, the new pitcher here for the Bethesda Big Train at a Christopher Newport University. Just one appearance on the year so far. 2 innings of work, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts in that one, and an empty stat line everywhere else as he goes into the windup to start off. Tommy Dunleavy, who leads things off here in the top of the 7th for Silver Spring-Takoma.
Yeah, Chikoski just looking to get some work in here. Hasn't pitched in a week. Hoping to make this one a judicious exit of this game. Returning.
4-seamer, 2-seamer, changeup, slider. He's working on that slider this summer. That's been his point of focus, so to say. Trying to get it to wipe out just like his favorite pitcher, Max Scherzer, as Dunleavy turns on this one and laces it into the left field corner. Going over to collect is Foster, digging it out and getting it in as Dunleavy continues his impressive night so far. Just about the only one for the T-Bolts with a stand-up double to start things here in the 7th.
Now, do you think he qualifies as a big train killer yet?
Maybe if the killing had actually been completed. Has definitely tried to shoulder the load as much as possible.
Yeah, since that strikeout, he's
1 for 2.
That big strikeout, he's been on fire against the big train.
As this one is grounded up the middle, Torres collects at shortstop, fires over to Sean Ewell for a 1-pitch out for Connor Palmiera. And that'll bring up no 11. The designated hitter tonight. 2 for 3 with 2 singles, an RBI, and a ground out into a 1-6 double play back in the first inning. Silver Spring started off this game with a single by Dale Hauser. They would lead off all 3 of the first innings with a base runner aboard, but wouldn't score until the 5th. That's the only frame they've been able to notch a run as they trail in this one 18-2 here. And Paul Levin flies this one down the left side. 3 big train defenders chasing over, but that's into the beehive and down the left field line. 2 strikes on no 11 here with 1 out. Top of the 7th, runner on second.
And if you're Chikoski, you're just hoping to get some quick outs here and get this game over with and then come back in action tomorrow night here against the South County Braves.
End of a 4-game homestand, so to say, for the big train. 2 games yesterday in the doubleheader against Alexandria they swept. The 1 game tonight, the 1 game tomorrow, of course, and then it's a day off and back on the road to take on the DC Grays. As this one is flied into shallow left field. That one's going to bounce in front of Foster and Torres. So over to first safely will be no 11 for the 3rd time tonight.
It looks to be a new or a different. I think Trevor Doyle's in left now.
Oh, is Doyle in left and
Foster's
Foster's out? Okay. Thank you for the correction. Said Foster's name a couple times this inning, so good to know who's out there playing defense in left. 2 on, 1 out here against Danny Chikoski. Dunleavy goes from third, hit and run on. Dunleavy will come home to score from third. Staying at second is no 11, and it's beautifully executed there from Stephen Rice. And that'll bring up Justin Carboni, replaced Christian Maceda as a pinch hitter in the 5th. Struck out in that inning. Came in to play right field as well. And it's 18-3 now. Breaking ball from Chikoski in the dirt. Ball 1.
I didn't know this is Bethesda Big Train football. Maybe not a typical football score. Hard to get 18 points.
A touchdown, a field goal, and a 2-point conversion. Or 2 touchdowns, a field goal, and a 2-point conversion. Throw by Gump in right, trying to get Rice at third is unsuccessful, so it's back-to-back RBI base knocks. And Silver Spring-Takoma chipping away here in the top of the 7th with 2 more across.
Yeah, and Danny Tchaikovsky greeted very rudely in this game. Still got a 14-run lead to play with, though, so not too big a deal. You can't focus on the runners on the bases. You just got to focus on getting outs here. And that's really what the biggest thing is when you're in a game such as this.
As he pours in a strike to Brian Cordell, the center fielder tonight. And now gets a ground up to Sean Ewell. He'll go over, or that's foul. Bounced off the plate or something foul first before Sean Ewell scooped it up in the shallow third base line. Would have been a very tidy end to this one. Instead, it's no balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here on Cordell as Tchaikovsky comes set. Fly ball, center field. Under it is Cone running in. He'll throw in, cut off by Sean Ewell, and the third run comes home. Rice tagging from third. It's 18-5, but 2 outs here for Darren Miller as he steps into the box.
That could so clearly not be Jack Cone in center field, Ben. It's okay, though. So it's been a long game, in these 18-run games, you let things get away from you. Darius Foster.
I also have a window glaring in front of me.
That is true. Darius Foster.
I just see my face.
Yeah, Doyle's in left and Foster is in center, and of course Brady Gump's still in right.
That makes sense as Doyle pinch hit for Cone, as this may be the end of it. Caught in a rundown is Justin Carboni, and that indeed will wrap it up. 2, 3, 4. And that's the ball game here as Bethesda notches another big win over Silver Spring-Takoma with a final score of 18-5, punctuated by bookended by two 8-run innings in the first and the fifth. When their bats got hot, their bats got very hot, and it poured runs here at Povich Field tonight.
Very much so, and they've been on a tear after we were, knocking them for maybe not putting up as much offensive numbers as we've seen from them this season. They come out here and get a couple of mercy rules out of the way, and big game here, big win for Big Train, and they get their 11th win of the season, 11-2. Great start to the year.
Again, one more time, the final score 18-5. We'll be back in a moment with Big Train post-game to break it all down for you here on Big Train.
Here at Povich Field, the big train rolled over the Silver Spring-Takoma Thunderbolts here 18-5 as they play their third consecutive 7-inning game. And offense galore in this one as the big train once again put up more than 10 runs in a game. Ben, what did you take away from tonight's game?
Yeah, absolutely. Just clinical offense from the start. Like we said, 8 runs on 5 hits back in the first inning. And they didn't really keep the pedal to the metal, but they came out with another very big outburst, as we said. Also in the 5th inning, 2 very big 8s in the box score. And it was really a complete game. Every big train batter scored at least once. And that's really all you got to know about this game.
Really all you need to know, and one heck of a game it was. And once again, thank you for joining us here on Big Train TV postgame. And the final score in this one, as you can see here, presented by Bethesda Magazine as they roll over the T-Bolts 18-5 and roll to 11-2 on the season. It's been a big one. So who are you going to go with your player of the game tonight, Ben? I'm going to take a look over the box score and see who mine is tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for me, I think. There's a lot of competition, some really great performances. You know, Bedford pitched out of a couple troublesome situations. He had a really good outing on the mound, 3 scoreless innings with 4 strikeouts. Lynch and Dougherty really had solid relief appearances as well. And it seems weird to, choose a guy who only played 3 innings. But, I mean, Kemp Alderman's the one that really broke things open with that big grand slam way back when, almost 3 hours ago now in the first inning with that grand slam. So I'm going to go with him. He set the tone for the rest of the big train offense, and they picked up right where he left off, even when big number 33 departed the game for greener pastures.
Absolutely. 2 for 2 with 5 RBI, including the grand slam in the first inning of this game. And I think I'm going to go with the first base spot. First base position today.
I like that.
I like that. The game because Nolan Shanuel came in and did exactly what Kemp Alderman did and put 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. 2 for 2 with a home run and a single. Both guys were.
I mean, if you look at the first base line, right? Alderman replaced by Shanuel, 2 home runs, 2 singles, a whole bunch of RBIs, and a walk thrown in there just for good measure.
So I'm going to share the player of the game award between Kemp Alderman and Nolan Shanuel tonight. It was a great offensive effort tonight, and not going unnoticed in this game either.
First time we've picked an offensive player for the performance of the game in a couple days.
Yeah, not going unnoticed either was a performance by Austin Gauthier, a pair of walks, a home run, and a single. He had a pretty solid game. Maybe a slump buster of a game tonight as well. But that is all we have tonight. If you have anything else to add, Ben, for tonight's game?
No, absolutely. I think, like you said, for Gauthier, it's just going to be interesting to see how the big train carry this momentum, not just from this game alone, but from a really good homestand start to this homestand through the last 3 games after a really tough loss Friday night against Gaithersburg, allowing 6 runs late in that one and not being able to close it out.
Yeah, there's really been a sour taste in their mouths, but they have weathered the T-Bolts in this game, the Thunderbolts in this game, as the big train roll on to 11-2. For Ben Bobek, I've been Tyler Gallo, and we'll see you next time here on Big Train TV tomorrow night. South County Braves come to town. And we'll see you for that one here on Big Train TV.